Understanding lender points. What are points? If you've ever made application for a mortgage, when the mortgage broker explained your rate and terms, they no doubt included a number that they refer to as points. Simply put, a point is 1% of interest, which is prepaid, based on the mortgage amount. So 1 point on a mortgage amount of $100,000 is equal to $1,000. Points can be charged both at origination and at payoff.
I'm afraid he's right.
Hello again, this is Alfred Einstein. In today's video, we're going to make sure that you not only understand lenders' points, but realize how you can potentially use them to improve your terms with your private lender.
1,000 thanks to the one who did this.
Intriguing, isn't it? Well, with that said, let's get right into it, shall we? Points are very important and a very expensive form of interest. Depending upon how early and how often a mortgage is satisfied, points can have a compounding effect on the annual return of the investor. Anyone involved in real estate should become familiar with the important place that points have in American real estate finance. Please allow me to illustrate.
Can I show you something?
So for example, you're buying an investment property for $120,000. You're putting down $20,000 in cash, therefore you're borrowing $100,000 from a lender. The terms of the loan are this. The interest rate is 12%. There's 3 points up front. The payments are interest only. It's a 1-year balloon. And there's a prepayment penalty during the first 6 months, which is an additional 2 points. Again, a point is equal to 1% of the loan amount. So if it's a $100,000 loan, 1 point equals $1,000. So with all that said, what is the annual rate of return for the investor on this loan? Let's first figure out the payment amount. We have $100,000 times 12% interest equals $12,000. There's no principal involved in your payments because it's interest only. So $12,000 divided by 12, you're paying $1,000 a month.
That was easy. That was easy.
Now let's calculate the lender points. 3 points up front. Remember, each point is $1,000 equals $3,000. So in order to figure out the annual return for the investor, we have the interest paid for the year, which is $12,000, plus the 3 points paid in advance is $3,000. So the investor made $15,000 this year on his $100,000. Or 15%. That's not a terrible return. There'll be guys lined up from here to New Jersey if we could show them how to get 15% on their money. But what if the loan pays off in 3 months? What's the return for the investor in that case? And this is where it gets good.
Nothing.
The principal amount being $100,000 times 3 months equals $3,000 in interest payments. 3 points up front equals another $3,000. Now, in this case, because it was paid off early, we have to add the 2-point prepayment penalty as well. So after 3 months, the investor earned $8,000 on this $100,000 loan. So what's the annual yield for $8,000 earned in 3 months? Well, in order to figure that out, we have to multiply the $8,000 by 4 because there's 4 quarters in every year, and that gives us 32. So the annualized interest on this investment for this particular investor was 32%. We thought 15% was good. Look at that, 32%.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm being cheated out of the money I won fairly.
Sugarless.
7, 8. What happened to 5 and 6? I'm coming to that. 9, 5, 6.
You can see how the points in this transaction had a tremendous effect on the lender's rate of return. Now that you have a little bit of an idea about how points work, let's figure out a way to use them. We're going to use the points that we have to pay to negotiate a better deal with our lenders. That sounds crazy, huh? If you like this sort of real estate insight, I'm going to ask you to please hit the like and bell buttons to keep fresh real estate content like this coming. Thank you very much. The following tactic will have more of an effect on private lenders than on hard money guys. Remember from my training that hard money guys use other people's money or they borrow the money from banks. They only make their money from the points. The argument I'm going to give you here shortly, we used in real life with our private money lenders back in the day. And our approach was simply this. We explained to the lender that we had a history of getting in and out of properties very quickly. Therefore, we could potentially turn their money over, in other words, borrow and satisfy, several times a year. This is why we felt justified in asking for a reduction of points if we could perform.
What is that? For the good old American life. For the money, for the glory, and for the fun. Mostly for the money.
All right, give me a sec. Let me set the scene. This particular investor, and we'll call him Bill, made a practice of charging 3 points for each loan he made. We learned by reverse engineering Bill's prior mortgages that his loans usually paid off closer to 10 or 11 months. Therefore, it was a safe assumption that Bill was only turning his money over once a year. And here's the real example of how we negotiated with Bill. We proposed that if we could turn his money over 6 times a year, we would only have to pay 1 point each time we borrowed money. If we fell below this 6 times a year goal, we agreed to pay 1.5 points, at least until we could get the money turning over 6 times again. So Bill in return would receive 6 points each year instead of just 3. And he could potentially receive as many as 8 points if we failed to reach our threshold. Even if we fell a little short, say we turned his money over only 5 times per year, he was still realizing a higher annual rate of return than he could by only turning his money over once a year. So the benefit to Bill is he earns more interest on the points that we're paying him. And the benefit to us is we're not having to pay Bill 3 his customary charge. We're paying him 1 each time we borrow. So you see, it worked out good for both of us. This is a good example of how to use points, no matter how painful they are to you as the borrower, to help you earn better terms from a lender. Man, I hope you all got that one. That was a pretty good lesson. We have many more lessons just like this one in the pipeline, and please stay tuned to this channel for more money-making ideas and negotiating tips. Remember, you don't know what you don't know. Also, you can please help us improve our channel and content by commenting in the section below. Also, please remember to visit your local real estate investor club meetings. There's a lot of knowledge on those floors. And don't forget, ask lots of questions while you're there. Until we meet again, this is Alfred Einstein wishing you all just a great week. We're going to make sure that you not... let's figure out... We're going to